Hello everybody. In this session, we are going to discuss some of those questions, the new question types on word usage that appeared in last year's, that is 2018 IBPS, PO and clerical exams. This session will give you a lot of clarity on those question types specifically, and our examples will help you understand because they are based on those question types. So, in effect, they are simulations or models of the questions which appeared in the 2018 IBPS, PO and clerical exams. We will start with the first kind of questions which we have named word usage. So, these questions deal with a lot of understanding of vocabulary, and so they are very important questions. I will begin with reading out the directions for you. Please take a look on the monitor when the directions will appear here on the monitor, and as I advance, the questions will keep appearing on the monitor for you to keep track of them, right? So, there are two questions first of this type which we have named word usage, and the directions are: in each of the following questions, a sentence is given with some bold words which may contain errors. Below each of the sentence, a table is given with two columns in which column A contains the list of bold words and in column B the suggested corrections are listed. You have to choose the best alternative among the four given options. If no correction is required against the given bold words, mark 5, that is none of the above as your answer. So, I hope you understood. There is a sentence that will appear on the board for you, and there are 4 words in the sentence, each of which is in bold. Now, in the column, you have column A and column B. So, column A gives you all those words which are there in the sentence in bold, and column B gives you suggestions of those words. That means, you may decide to use any of those words which are given in column B to improve the sentence in case you feel that there is an error in any of those words. Fine. Please take a look at the monitor. The first question is: during the 1930s, Britain and the US ignored Soviet warnings about the threat Hitler posed to world peace. In column A, fine. In the sentence, the words that are in bold are ignored, warnings, post and peace. And all of these words in this order, in the order in which they have appeared in the sentence, are given under column A and labeled 1, 2, 3, 4. And against each 5, 6, 7, 8 in column B, their suggested improvements have been given to you. So, can we replace ignored with invited? Well, during the 1930s, Britain and the US, is it correct to say invited Soviet warnings? Now, are we talking about inviting or calling forth something in the form of warnings? Do we invite warnings? We do not. So, it gives us the idea that ignored has been used correctly. Now, what does ignored mean? Ignored means to refrain from noticing, or they did not pay attention to Soviet Union warnings. Now, warnings, is warnings correct, or should we replace it with forebodings? Well, what does foreboding mean? Foreboding means a prediction or something which is said before it actually happens. Now, here the Soviet Union is warning about something. That means it may or may not happen. It's not a prediction that it is going to happen. That's because it's about a threat Hitler posed. So, we need not touch warnings. Warnings is a correct usage. About the threat Hitler posed. Well, posed is absolutely correct, which also means presented. But then when the word is correctly used, there is no need whatsoever to change it. To world peace. Can we change peace, P-I-E-C-E, to P-E-A-C-E? Well, here we have to keep in mind that while the words are pronounced the same, there is a difference in the spelling. P-I-E-C-E versus P-E-A-C-E. Now, which of these is correct? We are talking about a threat posed by a man to world peace. Over here, peace means a state where there is no war going on, and because of this idea or the context, P-E-A-C-E is the correct usage and P-I-E-C is incorrect. Fine. So, we need to change the last word, that is PIECE needs to be changed to peace, and all the other words are in there, all the other words are absolutely correct in terms of usage. Fine. So, this makes option 4 the correct choice. And option 4 also says 4 needs to be exchanged or changed with the 8th word in column 2, and so this is the correct answer for this question. So, I hope this question you have understood properly, and with this clarity we will move on to more of such questions. So, now I have the next question of the same type for you on the monitor. Please take a look. So, after this clarity, let's move on to the next question, which reads thus: extraordinary consumption and spending have become so pervasive that the state was no longer able to check it. Okay. So, the words that are in bold are, the sentence reads thus: extraordinary consumption and spending have become so pervasive that the state was no longer able to check it. Now, the words in bold are extraordinary, consumption, persuasive and check. Okay. So, the first word itself is extraordinary. Now, extraordinary is an adjective and consumption is a noun. So, when you consider them as in terms of their bonding, the bonding seems correct, but the word usage is incorrect, which means consumption cannot be described by extraordinary. It can definitely be described as extravagant, means excessive. The idea is to talk about too much of consumption and too much of spending. So, extraordinary, which means unusual, does not fit the scene here, and it has to be replaced by, and it can be effectively replaced by extravagant. So, extravagant consumption. Now, consumption is correct because consumption means to use up something, you use up any resource, be it money, be it fuel or whatever. So, extravagant consumption. Now, it cannot be replaced with consummation, because consummation means the quality or the state of being skilled in something, and over here it is very, very irrelevant. So, extravagant, that means 1 needs to be replaced by 5. Okay, let's move on further. 2 is a correct usage, and spending have become so persuasive. Now, persuasive means convincing. Can we use the word persuasive to talk about spending and consumption? It is not a correct usage. So, we understand that we need to change it. How do we change it? The word given as a suggestion is pervasive, and pervasive, as you will be able to see on the screen, means to be spread throughout. So, the idea conveyed is that extravagant, that means excessive consumption and spending, have become so rampant or so spread throughout the state that the state has not been able to stop it or check it. Now, this helps understand that check is correct and it cannot be changed by or replaced with channel, because channel means to direct something to some particular course, and it becomes meaningless if we change check to any other word. Fine. 1 which is extraordinary needs to be replaced with 5 which is extravagant, and 3 which is persuasive needs to be replaced with 7 which is pervasive, and the choice which reflects this pairing is 1. So, in 1 this combination can be seen, and we can mark 1 as our answer and move on. I hope you've understood how words have to be used. So, for this you need to keep word collocation in mind. Collocation means the pairing or bonding of words with each other, and even if the parts of speech or the elements of grammar are correct and the usage is not correct, we cannot go ahead with such a pairing. I hope this makes things clear for you.